Hey, I'm Chaz with Board Game Geek, and I hope you're thirsty for board games because I'm here with Maggie from Greater Than Games, and we're going to talk about Homebrewers. So, tell me all about this game.
All right. Well, Homebrewers is a game about homebrewing. Okay. I don't know if you could have figured that one out for yourself.
Glad you named it that then.
So what you are is you're playing as a homebrewer at the county fair. You're competing with other homebrewers to be the best homebrewer out there.
Okay.
You're going to try and create the right flavor profile to appease your judges who are looking for different things.
Ooh, okay.
As you add flavors to your beer, you're going to create a light engine. So, for example, if I added sour cherry to my, where does sour cherry go? Maybe ale? Sour cherry ale. It says max 6, and it means that whenever I brew this ale, I will also be able to increase my porter up to a maximum of 6 by 1 point each turn.
Oh, that's a good amount for a porter.
Yes, yeah. So as we're increasing our quality of beer, that's going to determine what our reputation is. Our reputation is how many bottle caps are opened, how many people are drinking your beer. That's how we know how well we're doing, right?
Nice.
So basically, you're going to add flavors into your beers to create that light engine, and then every turn we're going to do a dice trading mechanism. We're going to roll our dice.
Okay.
And it'll determine different actions that we can take.
I got a calendar, a hops, or a wheat, or whatever that is, and a glass.
Okay, so the hops is grain. Yeah, so it could be grain, it could be hops. I think in the rule book it's officially grain because you can brew a flavorless beer, but you can't brew a beer that doesn't have any grain in it.
Okay, makes sense.
So we have these little tokens that are double-sided. One side has a little grain image on it. The other side is a dirty bottom of a vat.
Ah, okay.
So when we have that one come up, we'll say, all right, well, I'm going to add a grain into my ale so that now it's ready to brew whenever I get a brew action, which is that little glass.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and then the calendar action that you mentioned, every month has, so this takes place over 8 months. It goes from March to Oktoberfest with mid-round scoring at Summerfest.
Okay.
Every month has a different action associated with it that's hidden and variable, so you can change them for every game, but it should always be hidden. Okay. So you flip it over, and this one says, attend a trade show. You're going to gain more flavors. That's a flavor symbol, so you're going to have more flavors that are available to you then. So right now, you can do a flavor action, you can brew a beer, and you can add grain to a beer. So honestly, you have the perfect dice roll, in my opinion.
That's it? Okay, let's stop the interview.
Yep, done, right?
Now, if I was going to increase my flavor,
yes.
What effect is that? Does that give me more of the tokens, or how does that work?
So your flavor cards are up here. They're in a marketplace. When we start the game, we actually have 2 in hand as well, so I'll give you 2.
Oh, all right.
We'll play this out, right?
Cool.
So I have 2 options now. When I have a flavor action, I can either choose to lay one down that's in my hand onto one of my beers.
Okay.
Or I could choose to grab from the marketplace.
Okay.
So if I grab from the marketplace, it goes into my hand, and then on another turn, or if I have 2 flavor actions, I can lay it down on my beer. But just 2 actions to do that. So that's how you're gaining all of those different flavors. Other ways that you might be able to gain flavors is that some of our characters have all of our characters have variable player powers.
I was going to ask about that.
Yes, yeah. So Evie O'Brien over here, she's a risk taker. Her special variable player power is she can pay $1 and look at the top 2 cards of the flavor deck, keep one, and discard the other.
Okay.
So she's able to get more flavor cards into her hand and really increase her flavor palette because her little backstory tells you she attends a lot of farmer markets.
Oh, okay.
She gets very into the vibes of all the different flavor palettes that are available. And then my character that I have over here, he's my favorite. His name's Tony Hendricks. He's the defending champion.
Oh, okay.
So he won last year's competition, and that means that he can pay $1 on his turn to increase the quality of his lowest beer by 1.
All right.
So he's always
his experience going.
Exactly. He never brews a bad beer.
No,
Yeah.
not Tony.
Not Tony. Exactly.
What about? Sorry.
So Colt Roberts, he is a life coach, and that means that he's very in tune with other people, and so his ability is work the crowd, and it means that he can take any upturned calendar action.
Okay.
He can pay $1 to take that action.
All right.
It's 1 per turn, but still that's very useful. He can really get in tune with his audience in that sense and give them what they need for their beers.
Okay. Now we've taken a look at these and the flavor cards that go with them and the dice. Well, what are these columns all about?
All right. So let's just say, for example, that I decided to brew a beer. So I used my brew action right there, that little dice. So this flips down, and goes into my closest open vat, which gives me 2 quality. It's got little 2 little two little rectangles there that are telling me that. And so then that's my ale. So I am purple, and it will go up 2.
All right. So these correspond to these then.
Yes. Yep. And so as I brew different things, I'll be able to increase the quality of my beer. And then when we go to mid-round scoring at Summerfest, I will look and see, okay, in ale, who has the highest quality? That person gets 4 points. And so on and so forth for the different categories, and same thing for second and third place. One thing that is also very cool, if we had 2 to 3 players, we would have different scoring.
Oh, cool.
Then we have 4 players and 5 players.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes.
When it customizes to the player account to optimize it.
Exactly. So that's how we determine what we're doing over here in the reputation. So these are reputation points that we're gaining because 4 people drink my beer. That's how I know my ale is the best ale, unfortunately for you. And then at the end of the game, we will also score for our judges. So our judges are looking for certain flavors that are existing. So one judge wants very savory beer, which would be your coffees, your bacons, your oysters, normal stuff.
Of course.
Things people love to drink. And then one judge is looking for very sweet beers, which will be your cream, your vanilla, your brown sugar, the stuff that you really like, toffee, maybe.
Right. Very little oyster in that, though?
No, not as many oyster, probably.
Okay.
One judge wants just he wants flavorful beer. He wants 2 flavors and at least 3 of your beers.
Okay.
So maybe we make an oyster toffee stout.
Now you're talking.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Everyone wants that. Yes.
Okay. It would make him happy.
Exactly. It would make him happy.
Okay.
And so he'll give you 5 points for that.
Okay.
So the other one that's really cool is that you get 2 times the lowest quality of one of your beers. So let's say I'm very good at what I do. I'm just brewing away, and all of these are up here. My lowest quality, let's get a little higher here. My lowest quality beer is at a 5, so I get 10 points at the end of the game.
Okay.
Yeah, so it behooves you to brew all of your beer.
Yes,
then.
instead of doing one track to keep everything kind of mitigated and going up together.
Exactly. And the other thing that does that is as you're building that light engine that I mentioned, when you get to the top of a column, you've maxed out. So you get to 12 and you've maxed out, so you can't continue to brew that beer anymore.
Okay.
So you want to make sure that you're building up all of your engines equally. Otherwise, you're gonna
get stuck.
Yep, you're gonna get stuck.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. And it looks too like these are variable each time.
Yep. So all of this is variable on your quality track. Your months are all variable, and your judges are all variable.
Neat. Keeps it some more replayability infused into it.
Exactly. And we also have 7 players that are 7 different characters that you can play with that all have different abilities. So it plays 2 to 5, but you're never stuck when you get to that where you're like, oh man, I got to take this last player.
Yeah.
No, you still get a lot of variety there.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So where is this in the production cycle?
So we just sent it to print, actually.
Oh.
So it kickstarted in September. We just sent it to print last month, and we were expecting it to come out in late May, early June. UK Games Expo. So.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
All right, I am looking forward to it with all the variability and all of the little nuances to it. This looks really exciting.
Yeah.
So thank you, Maggie.
Thank you. This was great.